Welcome to day 3 of our 5-day yoga series to nourish the breath, the mind, and the body. Today we will be exploring a variety of twisting asanas to help us improve spinal mobility, to help us increase our core and foundational awareness, and to inspire us to move with a loving compassion as we allow the breath to guide us. We'll begin today's practice lying down on our backs, taking as much time and space as you would like to arrive comfortably, keeping the knees bent with the soles of the feet on the mat. You might like to place one palm on the belly and the other on the heart space. Closing the eyes, feeling your connection to the breath, feeling your connection to this very moment. Perhaps taking a moment to set an intention for today's practice. Maybe you choose to revisit a previous intention. Or perhaps you'd like to explore something entirely new. Sealing off this intention with one mindful breath. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling out, letting it all go. Allowing the body and the breath to be your grounding anchors in today's practice. The mind can so easily wander and deviate on its own trajectories far away from the body, far away from the here and now. But know that the body will always be here. The body is your gateway to the present moment. So allow yourself to feel your way into each posture today. Allow the sensations of the body and the heart to guide you lovingly to a space of gratitude and total surrender as you begin to tune into your infinite potential. On your next inhalation, guide your knees into the chest, keeping the feet flexed, separating your arms at shoulder height, palms on the earth, and really plugging your palms and your shoulder blades into the mat. On your next inhalation, guide your knees over to the right, keeping the legs together. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, guide your knees over to the left. Exhale, return to center, continuing on with this movement, keeping the shoulders and the palms grounded. So if you notice that your shoulder begins to elevate, begin to back out of the posture a little bit. We don't need to touch the mat with our knees. We're just simply guiding them from one side to the other. Naturally, the opposite hip is going to rise, and that's okay. Doing your best to keep your core engaged, keeping the collarbones broad, and softening into your face. Mindfully finishing off your last round, hugging your knees into the chest and interlacing your fingers around your right shin, extending your left leg out, maybe finding a few ankle rotations with your right foot. Feeling a nice release for the hip flexors. And let's come into our supine spinal twist, Supta Mayatsandrasana. Using your left palm to guide the right knee across the body as you gaze to the right. Inhale, release, knees to chest. Let's find our wind relieving posture, Pawamuktasana, on the opposite side. Now coming into your spinal twist, noticing the sensations around the outer glutes, the outer hips. Inhale, center, guide both knees into the chest. Palms under your thighs, begin to rock and roll forwards and backwards, massaging out the spinal column, the lower back, keeping the core switched on. And let's rise into Navasana, boat pose. Option to keep your shins parallel to the earth, or you can extend your legs. Joining your palms together at heart center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center, and again. This time our lower body is stable and we're twisting from the level of the waist. Hinging the torso back on a diagonal, keeping the collarbones broad, reaching the crown of the head skywards and returning to your boat. Placing your feet on the earth, palms on the mat, and let's send our hips back as we come into child's pose. Breathing into any regions of sensation. On your next inhalation, rise into tabletop. And let's take a few rounds of cat and cow, Marijyasana, Bitilasana. Making these as small or as large as you would like. Focusing on what the posture feels like rather than what it looks like. You might find it helpful to close the eyes. And let's return to a neutral spinal alignment, tenting up onto the fingertips. Guide your right foot between your palms, coming into a low crescent moon, Anjaneyasana. Option to keep your fingers grounded, or inhale, raise the chest and the arms. Keeping the lower body stable, palms at heart center, Namaskar Mudra. And from here, pivot your chest to the right, placing your left tricep on the outer edge of your right thigh. Pressing into your palms to help you create leverage, gazing towards your back elbow and maybe tucking your back toes under and elevating the left leg. Lengthening both sides of the waist. Pressing firmly into the heel of your right foot. Lower the back knee down, return your gaze skywards. Inhale, raise the arms, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, palms on the earth, step the right leg back, tabletop. It might feel nice to shake the hips from side to side. And let's prepare for our low crescent moon with the left foot in front. Knowing that you have the option to keep your fingertips grounded, otherwise inhale, raise the chest, raise the arms. Turn on the lower core, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, prayer position. Pivot your chest to the left and press your right tricep into your left thigh. If you'd like the challenge, tucking your back toes under and raising the right leg. Staying high on the ball of your back foot. Turning on the quads. Mindfully place your right knee down. Gaze forwards, raise the arms. Exhale, palms on the earth, and this time let's step back to our high plank. Aligning the wrists with the shoulders, firming up the quads, core is switched on. Find your flow. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, or maybe you choose to lower your knees and your pelvis down. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Melting your heart towards your thighs, lengthening the back of the neck. Keeping the fingertips spread wide, pressing into your palms. Option to hop or step up to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, find length. Exhale, Uttanasana, twice more. flowing at your natural rhythm, listening to what the body is sharing with you today. Anchoring yourself in the sensations of each posture. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, palms at heart center. Inhale, raise the arms, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, come into chair pose, send the hips back, raise the arms, engage the core, aligning your ears and your biceps. Joining your palms at heart center, staying in your chair pose, twisting to the right, pressing your left tricep or your left elbow into your right thigh, gazing towards your right elbow, continuing to square off the hips, finding length along both sides of the waist. Inhale, chair pose, stay low. Exhale, palms at heart center and find your revolved chair pose in the opposite direction. Inhale, Utkatasana, raise the arms, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, palms on the earth, step back to plank pose. And send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Noticing how this posture feels as we return to it for a second time. Are you able to notice the breath? Breathe with a little bit more fluidity. Maybe you're able to recruit more muscles to support you here. On your next inhalation, raise the right leg, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms, pivot the back foot out on a diagonal, and let's rise into our Warrior One. Squaring off the hips and doing your best to ground into the lateral edge, the blade edge of your back foot. Inhale, straighten your front leg, separate your arms at shoulder height, hinge the torso forwards and place your left palm on the outer edge of your right foot, raising the right arm, pivoting the chest to the right. Option to place your palm on your ankle or on your shin, your thigh. Finding our reverse triangle. Smiling and breathing here. Bend your front knee, pivot to the left, arms at shoulder height, coming into our Warrior Two. Roll the shoulders back and down, engage the arms, gaze towards your front hand. Exhale, Sun Warrior, glide your left arm down your left leg, open the right side body, keeping the right knee bent, keeping the hips low. Inhale, Warrior Two. Turning on the glutes. Exhale, right hand to the inner seam of your right foot, coming up into extended side angle, creating a diagonal line between your left foot, your hip, your shoulder, and your hand. Maybe finding a bind as you interlace your fingers together behind your back, continuing to press your right shoulder into your right knee to help you open it out to the side. If you're in the bind, mindfully releasing, squaring off the hips, rolling onto the ball of your back foot, keeping the left palm grounded. Inhale, raise the right arm, open the chest, gaze up. And let's pivot into Vashisthasana, side plank, stacking the feet, the hips, the shoulders, and ensuring that your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders are aligned. Raising the hips, turning on the obliques. Beautiful work. Exhale, lower to plank pose. Find your vinyasa. Maybe that means knees on the earth, or maybe it means resting in child's pose, honoring where you're at today. When you're ready, we will meet in downward facing dog, finding your foundation. On your next inhalation, raise the left leg, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, left knee to chest. Pivot your back foot in. Rise into Virabhadrasana, square off the hips, lower the pelvis. On your next inhalation, straighten your left leg, separate the arms out in a T, hinge forwards and guide your right palm to the outer edge of your left foot, raising your left arm as you begin to twist your chest to the left. If you need to adjust the distance between your legs, know that that's okay. Take any modifications that feel right for you and breathe. Bending into your front knee, spiraling the arms to the right, pivoting your torso, and let's come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. Again, grounding into the blade edge of your back foot. Sinking those hips a little lower, creating a 90-degree angle with your front knee and the mat. Exhale, Sun Warrior, open the side body, gaze up, turn on the core. Inhale, Warrior Two. And let's find our extended side angle. Left palm on the inner seam of your left foot. Raising your right arm and using your left shoulder to open your left knee out to the side. If you'd like to find your arm bind, guiding your left arm underneath your leg and your right arm behind your back. Maybe interlacing the fingers together. Breathe. Mindfully releasing from the arm bind, returning both palms to the earth, squaring off the hips as you raise your back heel. Ground into your right hand. Inhale, raise the left arm, spiral your chest to the left. Staying high on the ball of your back foot. And let's pivot into our side plank, Vashisthasana. Stacking the left foot atop of the right foot. Can you raise those hips a little higher? Feel the strength of your triceps. One mindful breath here. Well done. Left palm on the earth, plank pose. Find your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. From down dog, lower the knees, point the toes, and sink the hips back as we come into child's pose, Balasana. With the support of your arms, beginning to elevate the torso, taking your time. Now let's explore a seated spinal twist, half Lord of the Fishes. Keeping your right knee facing in front of you, crossing your left foot to the outer edge of your right thigh. Doing your best to ground both glutes, using your right hand to grab a hold of your left leg as you place your left fingertips behind you, or opening your chest to the left and maybe gazing back. Remembering that twists are always about finding length and creating space, so it doesn't matter how deeply you twist into this posture. Just being mindful to ensure that you are still breathing with fluidity, with ease. Allow yourself to rest in a space of gratitude. And gently release from this spinal twist. Uncross the legs, and this time let's cross the right leg atop of the left leg. finding your variation of this spinal twist. On your next inhalation, gently releasing from the posture and finding a comfortable seated position of your choice. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, side bend, lower over to one side. Inhale, center, find length. Exhale, lateral spinal flexion in the opposite direction. Inhale, center. Relax the arms and roll the shoulders back and down, opening the heart space. Closing down the eyes. You might like to place one palm on the belly and the other on the heart space. We performed a similar gesture at the beginning of practice, lying down on our backs. So notice how this feels for you. Do you feel more connected, more attuned to your inner guidance? Maybe you notice nothing at all, and that is okay. Gifting yourself this moment to receive the benefits from today's practice. You might like to also remind yourself of the intention that you set. You might like to carry this intention with you throughout the course of your day, or simply choose to release it and let it all go. Let us take 3 nourishing breaths to round off this practice. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling out through the mouth. Sign it out. If you would like to join me, we will recite the mantra Om 1 time. Inhale to prepare. Thank you all so much for joining day 3 of our 5-day Nourish yoga series. Sending you love and light. May you be well. May you experience true peace and joy. Namaste.